You know how I ended up in this business? A crazy story. I was in Gleason's gym on 30th and 8th Avenue training. I was a middleweight. I was like a club fighter and going to be champion of the world. And a guy walked in, and he was a brokester, a producer type, trying to put together a pilot for a show called Augie, which was a combination of Chico and the Man and Rocky. And Augie was this young fighter who trained at this gym, and the old man who owned the gym and him had a relationship, and they couldn't pay the rent, so they rented out half the gym to, and this will date it perfectly, an aerobics instructor. And when I heard that, I thought all I could think of was leg warmers, you know. But he got me, you know, he talked to me, he said, do you ever think about reading for a TV show? And I said, I don't know. I thought maybe he was up to something. And I went to his office, I read, and he had a little tiny office on Madison Avenue, I read, and then months went by, and then finally he called me up and he said, I got a screen test for you. And he got me a screen test. I got a pilot. From the pilot, if you go on YouTube tonight, so I get this pilot, so I come back after the pilot, you know, they showed like a Christmas day at noon because it was so bad they didn't want me to see it. But it got me, like the network was aware of me, and I went up and read for do you remember the movie The Warriors? Sure. Remember the Warriors come out and play? This guy got me, the same guy, Stewart, got me an agent, and the agent said I got an open call. He goes to an open call for the Warriors in Manhattan. An open call for a gang picture in New York. I just trying to picture, like I saw a lot of feathers. I mean, it's really, anyway, so I went and I was fighting Friday night. It was like Wednesday or Thursday, and Friday night I was fighting. I had, and in those days, in the 70s, they used to make posters of the fights. You remember those old movies and the fight movies, and the guy would move up the poster. He'd start at the bottom, and then move up, and then he was the main event. Well, it was like that, and this was my first main event. I was fighting at Prospect Hall. You know that place we make your dreams come true? That wedding place that you see the commercial for? That used to be a fight club. Before that, it was an opera hall. Please, let me tell you, New York, hello. So I mean, it's just crazy. So I went to the audition, and I wasn't too confident in my acting, but I was certainly confident that I could fight. I knew I could fight, and I had the poster. So there was a big, long conference table, and at the end of the conference table was Larry Gordon, a big producer, Walter Hill, the director, and Joel Silver, another huge producer type. And when I finished, they said, thank you very much, which was bizarre. What do you mean, thank you? How'd I do? But that's what they said. They said, thank you very much. So I said, hey, listen, guys, you really want to see a warrior? And I unfurled the poster. I said, come see me fight. I had my picture on the poster. It said, tough Tony Danza, Brooklyn's knockout artist. So they were like, wow, you're a fighter? And so they all came to the fight. They sit through 5 of the most boring fights you've ever seen. It was a terrible card. And then I come out, and the guy I was fighting was a guy named Billy Perez. And if you go on YouTube, because this is the era of social media, somebody posted this fight on YouTube, and it's from 1977, and this was my audition, basically, right? So when you go home tonight, you'll watch the auditions, you'll see what happened. But I had a very good night, and I got the job, and then I had to choose, because ABC found out I got a movie, and they had me on a pilot deal. So they sent me to see Jim Brooks, who was reading people for a show called Taxi. I read with Mandy Patinkin, who was reading for Judd Hirsch's part, and he didn't get it, and I did. And that's how I got into business, really, just by, being in the gym. Crazy.
This footage is courtesy of the Broadway Teaching Group. The Broadway Teaching Group is an organization that connects the Broadway and academic communities through a series of educational workshops, courses, and special events throughout the year. For more information on them, check out BroadwayTeachingGroup.com.